All right, Dragon Ball Z fans, here's a debate that I never knew existed, so I had to look it up. So I found this on Twitter, and I went ahead and apparently there's one on Reddit, um, talking about it. This was 8 years ago. How am I just now? I've never heard this debate before. I mean, you're so used to hearing, oh, Goku a bad father. Who's a better father, Goku or Vegeta? Goku and Piccolo. Whose fault is for this? I've never heard this one. Never heard it. So says, what do you think? Who was at fault? Who was at fault for letting Cell achieve his perfect form? I mean, Krillin had a small Krillin-sized uh part to play, but even though he had become he kind of became in love with 18, he was also doing it out of compassion. Him and Goku were always taught to really not take anyone's life that you don't really need to. Like, he knew that they were androids, but he knew that they were human. And he didn't want to take another human's life when it wasn't really... I mean, why would he want to take someone else's life when he could just easily destroy the thing that is trying to absorb them? And they would kind of turn over a new leaf. So I think his compassion and the desire... I mean, let's put this... I mean, if he did... by doing what he did and then kind of wishing for them to kind of be just normal with the Dragon Balls, he wouldn't have landed one of the hottest baddies in freaking Dragon Ball universe or in anime history. 18 is hot. Like, the fact that he landed Android 18 because he had compassion. Because you hear people like, how the hell did this bald dude end up with her? Because she respected and appreciated the fact that he didn't destroy her when he could have when he had the chance to do it. The fact that even after everything was done, he still had compassion towards them. So, yeah. So Krillin was just, you see Goku doing it all the time with compassion. How many times has he told Frieza to just go home? Go home. Come back when you're stronger and we'll fight, because I don't want to fight you like this. And sometimes he just outright says, I don't want to kill you. I don't want to have to kill you. You're too strong, and I see you as too much of a friend and rival to do this. So can you just not do evil things? Goku tries to see the best in everyone. He shows compassion. Vegeta, he just let his pride and ego get in the way, and he knocks out Trunks. Trunks is like, no, father, you can't let him achieve his perfect form. And he's like, shut up. And Vegeta, Cell's like, father of the year. And then Vegeta's like, go ahead and absorb your android. And he's like, you won't regret this, Vegeta. And he's like, I better not, otherwise I'll crush you. And, and all that stuff, and Vegeta could have ended it right then and there. If Tien held semi-perfect Cell off for so long with just a tri-beam, the way he was when he was a Super Saiyan, when he was Super Vegeta, he completely outclassed a semi-perfect Cell in every way. That's why semi-perfect Cell had to ask, just beg him to basically let him absorb the android, because he knew he couldn't beat Vegeta. Had Vegeta just finished it, he did the same thing that Gohan did. He had the power to do it. He just didn't. He let his pride and he let his ego take control, and instead, look what happens. So him not allowing, not finishing it, it led to Cell being perfected, the Cell game starting, Gohan achieving Super Saiyan 2, but not doing what needed to be done. Goku having to sacrifice himself because Cell threatens to blow up, is about to blow up the planet. But then Cell comes back, and what's the first thing that happens when Cell does? What's the first thing he does? He blasts a hole through Trunks. And all of this could have been stopped had Vegeta just finished him when he had the power to do so. If Vegeta had just finished him at semi-perfect cell form, none of that would have happened. Goku would have survived because there would be no Cell games. Gohan, of course, wouldn't have achieved Super Saiyan 2, but Trunks wouldn't have been blasted through the chest. So everything started because Vegeta just let his ego and pride take control. All of that could have been avoided. I mean, had he just finished Cell, so many things in Dragon Ball in that moment would have changed. But of course, you know, the downside, if Goku never died, he wouldn't have been training in other world and he wouldn't have learned how to use Super Saiyan 3. Majin Buu would have been revived at some point, and I seriously doubt they would have had the power to do that. So it's a good thing and a bad thing that the things went the way they did. So for this moment, yeah, this moment, because of him not doing it, led to the Cell games. Super Saiyan 2, Gohan, cockiness, ego, not finishing Cell off. Goku ends up having to sacrifice himself. Trunks gets blasted through the chest when Cell comes back. So, I think that Vegeta deserves most of the blame. Yeah, absolutely. Because he was willing to let Cell absorb Android 18 just because he wants a challenge. Vegeta actually had the chance to defeat Cell, but he didn't. He was effortlessly beaten. Yeah, that's the one, like I said, Cell realized that he didn't stand a chance. The only way he could have defeated Vegeta was if he could absorb the android. So he knew he was screwed. And that's why he's like, oh yeah, let me absorb the android, Vegeta, and you'll get a real challenge. And that, like I said, this Dro's like, no, father, you can't. Cell had effortlessly beating Cell, but that he decided that Cell in a semi-perfect form wasn't a challenge for him. Cell told Vegeta that if he absorbed android, yeah, I just explained all this. And then when Cell reached his perfect form, Vegeta could land a single punch on him. Couldn't land a single punch on him. Yeah. If Vegeta had listened to Cell and just hadn't listened to Cell and just defeated him, the Cell games would have never happened. Yeah, I know. I said the same thing. I also blame Krillin because he didn't use the remote to deactivate Android 18 when he had the chance because he started to like her. If he used the remote, then Cell wouldn't have absorbed her to reach his perfect state. Again, it's his character. He was taught to show compassion, not to take a life unless he needed to. But when you're looking at Android 18 and you know that they were kind of, even though they were human, they were still designed specifically to kill Goku and all that. You know, it's like, okay, what's the right thing to do here? It's like I know they don't want to do it. They can clearly, you know, they don't want to do this. This is how they were created. But this dude is just pure evil. Like, do I really want to take another, even though they've been worked on, they're still human. Do I want to take another life or do I want to, you know, hope that Vegeta uses the power that he has and takes Cell out? I blame both Vegeta and Krillin, but Goku and Gohan fucked up pretty hard during the Cell games as well. 18 kind of deserves some of the blame as well. She did not leave despite numerous chances given, and she was with 16. So once Vegeta and Cell started fighting, she could have grabbed 16 and escaped while they were busy fighting each other. The androids have no energy to sense, so they could have made a clean getaway before anyone knew they were gone. Unlike Krillin and Gohan on Namek, who had to suppress her energy to hide from Vegeta, 18 could have just flown as fast as she could while carrying 16. Once they escaped from the area where Cell and Vegeta and Cell were fighting. No, they stand around watching a battle that means nothing to them. And once they are discovered, they have no hope of escape given Vegeta is willing to help Cell become perfect. Yeah, Vegeta dropped the idiot ball the most here. And Krillin did not help matters either, but 18 deserves to be on this list given her willingness to watch each other. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Gero. Everyone is missing the obvious culprit, Cell. See, Kaioshins lead to potentially evil mortals. It leads to conflict and threat, leads to necessity for Super Saiyan God, leads to legend, leads to afraid Frieza attacks, leads to Bardock sends Kakarot away, leads to he destroy Red's Red Ribbon Army, leads to Jiro creates to be perfect Cell. So it was all the Kais. Vegeta not killing semi-perfect Cell when he had the chance. Krillin for not destroying 18 due to his emotions. I mean, again, that's just how Krillin was. You know, it's easy to put the blame on Krillin, but again, he knew that the androids were created. He knew that they were humans, but he knew that Dr. Gero, when he inserted the artificial, mechanical, all that crap into them, he designed them specifically to kill. So, I mean, I don't put yourself in that position. You know that unlike Cell, 18 and 17 are humans. And if Cell was gone, they wouldn't have any desire to really be evil anymore after what they had gone through, after knowing that you protected them. So he was compassionate and due to his emotions, but Trunks not killing 18 when he realized Cell was gonna, when he realized Vegeta wasn't going to let Cell go, or when he was going to let Cell go, from far to less worse. Krillin, Vegeta, Trunks, Goku. Krillin for not killing 18 with the remote, so he was Earth's thirsty for android puff. Vegeta for not taking Cell out, taking out Cell and letting him do his thing. Trunks to not go in full power and destroying Cell because Dad might feel bad. Yeah, that was another thing. The whole time, Trunks was somewhat strong, a little stronger than Vegeta, but he didn't want to do anything because he thought it would hurt Vegeta's pride. He didn't want his dad to feel sad about it. About, how could my son be stronger than me? It was like, how is this half Saiyan stronger than the Prince of Saiyan? He didn't want to hurt his dad's ego. So it's like he held back. Gohan for wait. Goku for not giving his 100% and putting Gohan under unnecessary pressure. It really wasn't, though. He knew Gohan could do it. And Gohan proved him right. He started just dominating the fight, but then Goku was like, hey, Gohan, finish the fight, pal. You've proven you're strong, okay? We're all witnessing it. You're stronger than Cell. Finish it. And just like a cat playing with its prey, he's like, nah, I want to torture him a little more. Gohan for becoming an idiot in Super Saiyan 2 and not ending so quickly. Yeah. I blame Goku for getting the heart virus. Dr. Gero, he made Cell in the first place. 18 was innocent. Killing her was definitely the right call, but I find it hard to get mad at Krillin for the greater good. Vegeta had no excuse. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, again, Cell was the bigger threat, and because there was that internal dilemma, it's like, I like this chick. I know she's human. I know she was designed to kill, but I know that if Cell's gone, I really think that the androids can just live normal lives and just not be evil anymore, or not even be evil. They clearly show that they have the ability to do, work against their creator. I mean, 17 outright kills Dr. Gero, so they can clearly think for themselves. So I think he was just relying and hoping that they could show that there is still human in them. But with Cell, there's nothing good in him. He may have the cells of like Goku, but as a Vegeta fan, it's 100% his fault. I don't blame Krillin for not deactivating 18, and I'm not talking about just because he had a crush on her. The androids in general didn't do anything bad. Yeah, yeah. Remember, it wasn't the other timelines androids that were super evil. What did they do? They just kind of like traveled around in a car. Like, do you remember the music that was playing when they were riding around? It's like, what was it like? Do 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 do. They're just driving this car, and 18 and 17 are enjoy. They really didn't do anything. I think. I mean, 18 goes into the store and gets some new clothes, and I mean, I think even though they caused some destruction, it wasn't like in in his timeline where they were just pure evil and just out destroying. No, yeah, they destroyed, but it it was we didn't see them really destroy much of anything. They were just driving in the car, trying to, uh, the androids in general didn't do anything really bad. They stole a car, and that's bad, but not worthy of of a death sentence. Honestly, in Krillin's shoes, I would have not deactivated her either, just for the fact that yeah, she didn't do anything bad. Same with 17. Neither of them murdered anybody. Just my personal thoughts. I would put the blame on Android 18 more than Krillin in this matter. 18 could have ran while Vegeta was pounding Cell, but instead she sat and watched. While Vegeta and Krillin are the culprits, I mostly put my blame on I blame it mostly on Vegeta. I'd say the blame lies equally on everyone involved, besides. What do you mean besides Trunks? He was like standing right in the middle of Goku, Vegeta, and Cell. Vegeta, if it wasn't for his pride, Trunks wouldn't have had to hold back, and he could have finished Cell himself. But no, he's like, I don't want my father to get mad at me because I'm strong. Even if even one of Vegeta, Krillin, or 18 had done what they were, yeah. This one is blame on Vegeta. Vegeta, yeah, but then we wouldn't have had Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Who knows how the Majin Saga would. Yeah, that's what I said. There's a good part of it, and then there's a bad part of it. 18's to blame. Bitch could have ran literally any time during battle. Vegeta and Goku are the reason the androids woke up in the first place. Honestly, the Z Warriors F up so much in this saga. The power is everyone's strong past the android arc, probably. Dr. Giro's fault for making them. Vegeta's the #1 culprit. I'm curious. Unless 18 blew up, couldn't Cell still absorb her deactivated body? It's just her battery. It's just her battery he wants. Krillin was supposed to blast her away while she was deactivated, which would almost certainly destroy it. Zeno, bringing the Omni King himself in there. How do you erase the second timeline? Yeah. Well, of course, theoretically, yeah, that would have been a thing, but he wasn't created at the time, so Vegeta, without a doubt. He was willing to fight Trunks just to let Cell absorb 18. Krillin, in comparison, is guilty of thinking twice about killing a woman in cold blood after she's shown mercy to his friend. Exactly! Exactly! Her and her brother were not evil. Like I said, I think they destroyed like one thing or something, but they just kind of, they were nothing like the future timeline androids. They weren't bloodthirsty or anything. You know? So it's like, it really is it really a good thing to destroy someone who really hasn't done anything wrong just to keep him from getting her? I mean, in the long run, he could have destroyed 18 and then wished her back. Um, but you know, Vegeta, he could have killed 18, killed Cell, killed Krillin, doing any number of things to prevent this from turning, prevent it from turning perfect. Android 7 and 18 are to blame. The two had plenty of time to escape. I also blame Piccolo and Tien for not using a light grenade and Goho on 17 and 18 respectively and kill them. Yeah. I mean, you can maybe see it that way. Perfect mirror for when Gohan told Cell about his hidden power. Cell took it upon himself to make Gohan reveal his power, only for him to regret it almost immediately. Krillin was just a horny idiot. In fairness to Vegeta, he damn near destroyed Cell with that final flash, and would have won if it wasn't for the cheapo regeneration. That being said, he can absolutely be blamed. Yeah. Yeah, in the end, it really comes down to Vegeta. Krillin didn't do it out of not only liking 18, but out of compassion. She didn't do anything wrong. Her and her brother, despite being androids, and I think maybe destroying like 1 or 2 buildings or whatever, they just kind of traveled in the car. So he was acting more out of compassion. Vegeta, pride. His pride and ego, and, oh, you're pathetic, and, oh no, Vegeta, let me get stronger. I just need to absorb the android, and, okay, well, if you don't, I'll kill you, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, okay, Vegeta. No, father, you can't. You can't let him become perfect. Shut up. Poof. So it comes down to Vegeta. It's Vegeta. 100%. 100%. I think if most of us were in the situation with Krillin, we probably would have done the same thing. We're not going to just take a human life just because, you know, oh, we need to, like, Vegeta can take care of him. Vegeta can take care of him, so why should I have to kill another human being? So, but like I said, they could have made, well, no, they couldn't have used the Dragon Balls, because at the time, the Dragon Balls weren't around. Because Piccolo had fused with Kami, the Dragon Balls weren't there, so they would still need to make Dende, Guardian, which things could have ended up differently, and maybe he wouldn't have ended up Guardian. So, well, maybe it's like a Lich King thing. There must always be a Lich King. So I think Dende would have eventually become Guardian, and the Dragon Balls would eventually, come back. But they would have had to wait. But either way, it comes down to Vegeta. Comes down to Vegeta. Well, let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear goofy answers, but like legitimate answers. Like legitimately between Krillin and Vegeta, who's more at fault. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.